Welcome, everybody, to RVing in New England. We're glad to have you with us tonight.
We sure are. And you're frozen. So, with that being said, I will tell you this. My name is John DePietro, and that's Bob Zagami, the still figure right next to us. And we've got a great show tonight. We're going to be talking with Janine Pettit from Girl Camper. But first, we want to tell you that this show is sponsored by Lee's Family Trailer Sales in Windham, Maine. And you can see they're pictured right here on the screen. And keep in mind one thing, tiny little dealership has turned into a huge dealership in Windham, Maine, which is just outside of Portland. We want to thank them for their sponsorship and let you know that whether you're looking for a travel trailer, a motorized unit, or whatever, if it's got to do with RVing, you're sure to find it at Lee's Family Trailer Sales. We're going to be bringing Janine up in just a minute, but folks, we want to tell you now that it's an exciting time of the RV season because in just about a week at 5 o'clock Eastern time, when you look out the window, it's still daylight out. And to me, that signals the time that it's starting to look forward to things having to do with camping. And another thing that you may want to keep in mind is that this is also the time of the year, the midwinter time of the year, when you want to start doing some checks on your unit that you may have put away in the first part of November, the middle of November, or the end of November. But what we want you to do is this. We want you to keep in mind that you should check the roof. You should go inside and check to see if there's any water leaks. Check to see if there's any rodents that may have found their way into your building. And with that being said, we want to say thank you so much to Dante for joining us, to Lisa for joining us. Lisa, I think you might be one of Janine's people. And yes, Bob Zagami, I can hear myself and see myself, but I can't see you. Hi, John and Bob. I just got a new, she got her new fifth wheel. Sandy got a new fifth wheel. And evidently we can see John and not Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in a special treat because I'm going to take over.
Oh, no, you know what I did? I just recycled everything, John. Can you see us and hear us? All right. Okay. Okay. I got you. Okay. Hang on. We're cooking.
Bob is back.
All right, Janine, welcome, Janine Pettit. I'm sorry we had to bore you with the technical stuff there, but
Bob,
welcome. What, John?
This is where they put the slide up that says, please stand by. Do not adjust your TV.
I'll have to get a technical difficulty. Look at that. We got an incredible audience. So, tell you what, before we start, we do want to do something with Janine. Janine, I know this is difficult, but we can hear you. So, go ahead and tell us about Alana. want to do something with Janine, and Janine, I know this is difficult, but we can hear you. So
Thank you.
go ahead.
Thank you. To talk about, just a really great loss we just suffered in our Girl Camper community. Camper magazine. We came out with Girl Camper magazine last summer. Anyway, Elena Garrett Hogg. I want to give her maiden name in there because she came from an incredible family of origin. This is a woman who was cherished every day in her life, was surrounded by people who loved her deeply because she loved deeply. Elena went into the hospital on December 21st with what they thought was a bad asthma attack and learned pretty quickly that she had an advanced pulmonary disease. And she was put on a lung transplant list. And we all we were praying like crazy. And, but anyway, God has his ways. And Elena left us for heaven on January 7th. 40 minutes after I communicated with her. We text each other every night and send her little notes. And I hung up with her at 9 p.m. and she passed away very suddenly at 9:41 p.m. on Thursday, January 9th. And we just want to take this moment to acknowledge what she meant to us. I'm not going to talk too much about it because honestly, I can't talk about it. My partner and I were talking on the phone today about the magazine and moving forward, and we both dissolved into tears and had to hang up. So Elena was just an incredible, incredible woman. The magazine, as you know, won an Ozzie Award for its inaugural issue. It's kind of cute the way Elena came into Girl Camper. She was a find. She was a God wink. We had a couple of people give us digital things, and every time somebody sent me something, I went, oh my gosh, this isn't what I had in mind at all. And I sat down and I just really began praying, God, I need this needle in a haystack. And I pulled all the magazines off my shelf because I save magazines because I love magazines. And I pulled out my top 3 favorite out of a stack of 20, and they were different publications, and they were years apart. One was from like 2007 and one was 2014 and one was more recent. And I thought, well, let me just look at who's the art director in each one of these magazines. Every one of those magazines from different publishing houses in different publications was Elena. And I thought, oh my God, this woman is the top of her field in lifestyle publications and very high-end publishing houses. But let me just go bold and reach out to her on LinkedIn and see if she knows someone who could take on our project. I was hoping maybe she had a great intern that showed promise at one point. And I reached out to her on LinkedIn and she called me like 2 hours later on a Sunday afternoon. And we spent 3 hours on the phone talking about the magazine. And she said, I think I want to do this myself. So as beautiful as it looks, it may surprise people to know it was her part-time gig, but she poured her heart and soul into it, and she's irreplaceable to us. And we just want to honor her because we just loved her dearly.
All right, catch your breath. Thank you very much. I am going to reboot because I think we had a couple of glitches again, but let's just reboot this one more time and make sure that we okay, so let's see. We're not getting anybody else on the screen. I don't know what is going. Oh, there's Janine.
There I am.
Okay, let me see if I can get DePietro up there. Hey, all right, we got all 3 of us. So that's quite all right. And that wasn't planned, folks. Janine and I talked before the show and wanted to throw that in there.
You were kind enough to ask me, Bob, if I would mind talking about her, and all I want to do is talk about her. It's just so prevalent in our minds day and night, but it's a great loss.
Yes, it is. Hey, let's go to something a little bit more cheerful, and we hate to lose people. She was the magazine. There is no question about that. We do want to make an announcement because we may already be past the mark of a giveaway. This is a non-standard show.
Add 10 more to it, Bob. Add 10 more.
What the hell? Yeah, there's a lot more coming, folks. All right, Janine, tell us quickly about this giveaway.
It's a little Girl Camper package. So we have a subscription to Girl Camper magazine. So that's a quarterly magazine. You're going to get 4 issues every year. We put it out by the season. So the winter issue is being mailed this week. Then we'll have the spring, summer, fall, and we'll be back to the winter issue. And then we have our Girl Camper National Expo coming out March 20th and 21st. That is going to be a 2-day seminar, virtual seminar. So 18 sessions online. It's a $29 fee, and you can get that for free, and you get to keep it. Like, it's going to live on our homepage. And if you are someone who purchased it, you can go back anytime and watch any of the segments over and over again. And then, of course, our Girl Camper mug, the sought after, coveted Girl Camper mug.
And you know, when you folks over on the right see that name, Bill Sell is with Advisor Communications up here in the Boston area, and he is helping Janine put that expo on, and he is also going to be helping NERVDA, because we're going to soon announce a spectacular live online event for April. But tonight it's all about Janine, and the giveaway is going to be for the 25th comment. And I got a funny feeling we may have passed that already.
That's
but Janine,
if we've passed it, go to 40. Go to the 40, because we're only.
Go to 40?
Yeah, go to 40 because we're already into.
All right. So if you were 25, sorry, if you were the 25th comment, I'm sorry I just took it away from you. But we are going to go to 40. So let me run through the cast of characters here tonight. You must be very popular, Janine. Dante's with us from Windham, Maine. Great guy up there, and consultant to small businesses. If you want to get a franchise, you get a hold of Dante. He advises small business people who have been downsized by those big ugly corporations and they want to do something different. And Janine, if you ever want to franchise Girl Campers, I'm gonna hook you up. The next time we do
already did that with our chapter guides.
Okay, the next time we do the Girl Camper at Lee's Family Trailer, our great sponsor, Dante lives right down the street. I'm going to have him come up and have a cup of coffee with you. Lisa,
okay.
Thank you. And Jim Roy from Silver Moose Restorations. I figured Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Jim is incredible. And Jim, I didn't forget you. I'm just finishing up the story tonight, but we're going to have a story on Jim in our magazine.
Well, Jim is going to be in the spring issue of Girl Camper magazine.
I think
he's going to be.
Jim is going to be in the spring issue of Girl Camper magazine because we are doing a feature on the do's and don'ts of RV vintage restoration and who the country's top restorers are. And you can't do a story about the top restorers without talking about Jim.
Absolutely. So I guess I better get off my rear end and finish my story. So I make it out on the street before you do.
Hey, Bob, why don't we do this? Why don't you take yourself off the screen and you count, and I'll go into what's going on March 20th and 21st with Janine.
All right, you talk to Janine. All right, you do that. You talk to Janine, and I will go do some counting because I got a funny feeling we got to.
Okay, so Janine, as you know from the many times you've been on the show, I'm the one who brings civility and sense to the show.
Okay.
No doubt about that. No doubt about it. So, he's back.
I have the ability to bring myself back on the screen. So now what you did, I'm just going to do video only. Where is that?
He can't count.
I'm going to stop the video, but guess what, DePietro? I can hear everything you're saying.
Well, I think our audience would agree. Audience.
How do I work with this?
You agree that if you think that I'm the sensible and the person who brings civility to the show, while Zagami, all he brings is chaos and Jack Daniels. Okay, let's let our audience vote right now. Just vote Just write down DePietro. Just put John Civil. Okay, John Civil. Okay, Janine, big event coming up in March. And
Yes.
the interesting part about it, because of the COVID situation, is that this is going to be an even better show. You've got a lot more things going on, but it's virtual. So you can attend the event in your, as my wife would say, pajamas.
PJs,
Okay?
yeah.
Tell us, number one, how can, there's got to be a website available for it right now that people can register, right?
Just go over to girlcamper.com.
Okay.
Go up on our toolbar. You'll see Expo and go ahead and sign up.
And what is going on at this? Because you hear Expo, but you don't know about virtual expos.
Yeah, and you know what? I shout out to Bill Sells, because Bill is so much more to Girl Camper than just the person who organized the expo for us. Bill is a cheerleader. Bill was so instrumental in conceiving the magazine and helping us get it off the ground. And we love working with Bill on new things all the time. And we were scheduled to do a literal live Girl Camper Expo with Bill at the RV, with you guys at the RV show in Boston. And then once that went kibosh, we were very disappointed. And then Bill came back to me and said, let's do a virtual expo. And I said, oh, nah, that seems like a lot of work, and everybody does those. And then Bill just kept reframing it for me until I liked it. So really, Bill called me up one day and he said, you know what, I think I'm not conveying this right. Really what I'm imagining with the expo is Girl Camper magazine comes to life. And now I could get behind that. So
Janine, here's one thing I figured out. I ask you a question and you go back 10 miles and then start back again. What's going? It's only an hour show.
I'm going to tell you that.
It's not a 2 day show.
A little backstory. Hey, I get some about you. You do that, John.
Time out. This is crazy. Time out. The winner of the gift package is Lisa Morales.
Yay! She's a Massachusetts girl.
She's a what? Massachusetts?
Massachusetts girl. And a spectacular photographer. Go to her website.
Is she a girl camper?
She sure is.
Wow. All right, Lisa. So, Lisa, if you'll send Janine, she probably already has your physical address, but if you would be kind enough to send that to her, we will make sure that you get the Girl Camper package.
And now back to our regularly scheduled content. Janine, what is going on at the expo? What are people going to find when they attend?
Girl Camper magazine come to life. So in addition to the things we would expect to see when we're mentoring RVers, you're going to see some other things that are the magazine come to life. We're going to have a segment on how to recover your RV cushions if you don't know how to sew.
Not recover them because you've lost them, but put another cover on them.
Yeah, because you're tired of it. You want to refresh. You're doing a factory to fabulous, but you don't want to spend $150 per cushion to have someone make you new zippers. They're really expensive. So we're going to do a stage by stage, step by step DIY on that.
You know what I would do?
What?
I would just throw a towel on it.
You're a brother to my husband, I think, somewhere.
You're my You're my sister-in-law.
Isn't
so a guy would just throw a towel on it, or
right. An old sheet,
right. And figure, who cares? You're sitting on it anyway. You can't see it. That's the man's viewpoint.
You do see it. It's your home. An RV is your home on wheels, and you want to walk in it when you're at the campground and feel welcomed, feel like you're at home.
I would feel welcome if there was a nice roast beef dinner sitting at the table. That's what I would feel.
We're going to cover food. Yeah, so we have people coming on doing a little recipes with us. We're having someone come on from Outdoorsy who is going to talk about their experiencing renting their RV and getting it paid for by somebody else. That is something we're going to really have some fun with. We're going to have segments on with RV Life. They're going to be walking us through their best tips for how to plan a bucket list trip, like all the things that you need to know, how far in advance. Like these are things that so many new people to the industry don't know about. So we're going to have 18 segments covering all kinds of things, and it's going to be great fun.
Okay.
So is RV Life going to showcase the Camper Report Show? I can't remember the name of the two hosts. John, help me out. Who are the two guys
Hold
that
on.
everybody's talking about on the Camper Report Show?
Let me check.
Let me see. Two guys. I can't think of their names, but yeah.
An old guy. It said an old young guy, and a young guy.
Well, they're going to come on and talk about RV Trip Wizard, which is a fantastic tool.
Yeah.
And I wish I had it 3 years ago when I was gone for 5 weeks. It would have been helpful.
Hey, let's read some of these comments, Bob.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I'll tell you what. I got to go back to the top. We got to have almost 100 here. Jim Roy's on it. We talked about Jim. Sandy Ellingson's on. And I'll give a plug for the RVWA. If you're part of the Coffee, Lunch, and Learn group of people on Friday at noontime, they have an extremely special guest. Damn, I forget his name. I know I've seen his name somewhere else. Oh, yeah, DePietro. John DePietro is the guest on Coffee, Lunch, and Learn. So make sure you bring espresso, not that light stuff with cream and sugar.
There's the whole presentation right there.
You didn't see John. All right, Walt Swenson, good evening all from Central Florida for the last week. Yeah, Walt has got to head home. That's terrible.
Now, Bob, go ahead. Say it again for the 6th week. Walter's vacation ends next week.
Walter's on vacation in Florida, right? Yeah. There you go. Rick Kessler, good evening, gentlemen. No,
he was talking to me.
No, he's got gentlemen. It should be gentleman, meaning me. Gentleman. I told you about Ryan. Ryan's a new member of NERVDA as of this morning. This guy's got it all together. We took him out to breakfast and he brought a check to join NERVDA. How's that?
And I gave him a pen to sign it.
Huh?
Tell him what Ryan does.
Frank Cates, we lost you. Oh, that's old. Dante can't hear. I hope that's an old one. Bill Sell. John tells us it's getting closer to spring, and now we get a whiteout on the screen. No, that's Celeste. Hello from North Dakota. Celeste. She got to be a girl camper in North Dakota. Frank Cates, stand by due to technical difficulty. Thank you, Frank. We got an assistant producer.
Please,
Bob. Walter. We can see Bob. Dante, you're back. Okay, Sandy. Ellen, hi from Chicago area. Girl camper in Chicago. Is she one of you
guys? The Chicago person? Where are you?
Yeah, she's our Chicago girl. But Eileen has come all the way out to Maine. She's camped many times in Maine. She has a beautiful Class C, and she travels with a giant dog and her sweet daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. I want that Chicago. If the Chicago lady would tell me if she knows where Portillo's is, so that if she ever comes out here, I'll have her make a stop at Portillo's. See, because
there's a URL for the magazine. And if you go to girlcamping.com on the top right-hand side, you'll see the magazine. I was at the event in September. It was excellent. So Michelle was at the Michelle, I assume you were at the event at Lee's Trail, Family Trailer. And so again, boom. Let's see. Deanne Kelly, yay. Can't wait to get my next issue of the magazine. Well, let's leave it there for a minute and let's talk about the magazine, because this is an incredible magazine. So let me drop the coffee.
I can tell you right now, I see Elena's brother Shannon is on watching us. So Shannon, we just want you to know how much we love Elena's work. And Elena's name is never going to change in the masthead because she created this magazine. It's always going to say created and designed by Elena Garrett Hogg. Someone else makes the digital work from now on. And when we dry our tears enough, we are going to start a Elena Garrett Hogg scholarship fund for women who want to go into design. So we have to keep honoring our girl and making sure people know how much she loved what she did and how much she loved people.
You know, Janine, I have one question. How do you store such a big heart in that little body of yours?
It's not that little, the body, anyway, the heart. You know
Well,
what?
I know the heart's not little, and I'm not going to touch the body part.
That would be good.
That's probably the best thing to do, Bob. Not
All right,
touch.
Yeah.
so tell us about the upcoming issue of Girl Camper magazine.
How much do you love that cover? Isn't it beautiful? And, you know, we send Elena a picture and she sends that back to us, and it blows our mind every time. And so we know that for the top half of the country, you know, our campers are stored, they're winterized, and we're missing really that experience of campfires and outdoors. And I always wanted to do an article on just really dreamy lodges. At least once every winter, my husband and I sneak away to some place with cocoa and fireplaces. So that is a lodge in Colorado, and it's gorgeous, isn't it? So the winter issue has been printed, and it's going to hit the mailboxes this week.
Are Coco and Fireplaces your two dogs?
No.
Okay, because you said my husband and I go away with Coco and Fireplaces.
Buddy and Riley. But we do have two dogs in the magazine because we did a nice story on camping in the winter in Nova Scotia.
Bob, we have a situation here going on here.
Is Kessler doing a side conversation or is Swin?
No. We have an identity theft going on right now where Sandy Ellingson said her name is Lisa because she wants the darn mug.
She wants no. That's the mug in the gift package.
Yep.
Sorry, Sandy, you've been uncovered, and we're not going to send that to you. Besides, you must have plenty of mugs. You're traveling all around the country full timing, and now you got this new fifth wheel to play around with. Oh, you know, she may need a mug for the fifth wheel. Did we lose Janine?
I don't know. You're in charge.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? While you're trying to find Janine, let's say hi to Lisa Warren, our friend in Texas.
Fantastic.
And her husband, Alan, do a great show that follows us every Wednesday night called the RV Show USA. And Lisa, if you're still there, just write hello down below. We know that both Lisa, I know Alan is a COVID survivor.
I think Lisa too, didn't she?
I don't know whether, I think she still had, she might have had pneumonia, but anyway, we're happy to hear.
Back and well.
I think we'd probably say this is our most discombobulated show ever.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Nevertheless, okay, the comments are coming in. We need our audience here. They still didn't comment if, hello, I'm here. Oh, Lisa Warren. Yeah, Lisa is here. Lisa, who you got? You got any guests tonight? We'll watch it right after this. The RV Show USA. And there's Janine.
I'm back.
Janine's back.
To the kitchen.
So,
Lisa wants a mug. Lisa Warren wants a mug too.
Janine,
well, she's
Lisa,
a new mama, so I'll send her a mug. Anyone who's just given birth in a COVID world deserves a mug.
So Lisa wants a mug.
Lisa Warren? I don't think she had a baby.
So I'm confusing her with our other girl camper, Lisa Warren. So there's two.
Lisa Morales is a new mother?
No, Lisa Warren.
Oh, Lisa.
You know what? That might not be the same Warren. Lisa Warren, tell us if you're married to Alan. And I don't think she is. I think that's two.
RV Show USA.
Alan's daughter.
I don't think she is.
Hey, while we're checking out our guests, we should say hi to Jim Conboy.
Janine, Connie, and Ray Garrett. Alana's mom and dad are on.
I'm sending you so much love.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
We can't wait to go down and, Elena and I, we all worked on the phone all the time, and then COVID hit, and actually my son used to live about an hour away from them. So I know we'll get there and we'll see them in person and their family forever.
In the meantime, I'm trying to figure out how many Lisa Warrens we have here. Yes, Alan is my husband. No, they had a grandson. Well, you didn't really. Yeah. Okay.
We have to do a sponsorship. So,
Oh, that's right.
Get yourself there. Let's talk about our sponsor, because Lee's Family Trailer Sales is our sponsor for the next 6 months.
Bob. would you put some life into your voice? It sounds like you're reading a
Script.
medical report. Lee's
So,
family.
ladies,
Family trailer sales. It's ours. Put some life into it.
Discombobulated is too nice a word. Let me introduce you to Lee's Family Trailer Sales, the exclusive sponsor of RVing in New England for the next 6 months, and the exclusive Girl Camper headquarters in New England. Haven't done a camper college there in September, and another one coming up. And just look at the products, John, that they've got for girl campers. The Solus van camper, easy to drive, just like the sedan in your backyard. You got the Winnebago mini Winnie travel trailers. Middle left, the Nobo, one of the most popular off-road event for all those adventurous ladies out there, whether you're 16 or 66. And on the right, John, tell them what the middle right is. Hottest thing on the
ladies and gentlemen, is from Winnebago. It is the Echo. Echo. It's the Echo, and geez, I thought it was on a Sprinter. It is on a Ford Transit.
Chassis. And lower left is the teardrops. Dan's got a great selection of teardrops for up there for people. And making his first appearance on RVing in New England, on the bottom right, the Cougar travel trailer, travel trailer for half-ton. So if you got a half-ton pickup or a small SUV, Keystone Cougar, 20 years anniversary this year. All kinds of features. Go up there and see Dan and the team up there and find out all about your Cougar travel trailers.
And tell them where they're located.
They can read, John. It's 302 Roosevelt Trail, Route 302, Windham, Maine. Lee's family.
Maine
You couldn't read that?
Where's Windham, Maine near?
20 miles, 15 miles northwest of Portland, Maine. Not Portland, Oregon. Not Portland, Oregon, but Portland, Maine. And Janine, tell them how nice Dan Craffy is.
So nice that he should be illegal. So nice he stands out, because let me tell you, we went up there and we do lots of camper colleges, and I walked away from there going, these are our people. And Lee's Family Trailer is the headquarters for girl campers in New England. This is a man who really, truly wants everyone to find that RV that was right for them. And all the girl campers who were there working with Dan's team kept saying the same thing. Like, these employees are so happy. And you can tell when it's a good company when the employees just so much want to be at work. What a company at that place.
Let me highlight the women of Lee's Family Trailer, because this is a company that has got women in many top managers. Deb Wardwell is kind of like the GM and the administrative, and she just does everything in it. She's the glue that keeps it going. She's on sales, on service. She was all over the place during the camper college. And Happy Alexander, you cannot be sad when you meet Happy. Happy runs the parts and accessories store. She is amazing with what she knows about this industry. You know what? Happy really is happy every day. I've never seen the woman frown. And they got a new finance. So you're going to buy a camper? Sue Belanger in finance, probably one of the best women F&I managers in the country. You will love this woman. Teresa Nash, who does the PDI. She did the actual seminar for the girl campers and walked them through some of the parts and accessories. And we have Desiree, who's new in finance, working with Sue, and Katie. And Kate, I forget if Katie's in service or if she's in PDI, but a lot of great women up there. So
it's a great dealership. The environment in that place just feels so great. From the minute you step onto the grounds there, you just feel like they really want to help you, and they really want to see you in the product that best suits you. And their team is so willing to sit and listen. And that's the first step to buying, listening on the dealership's part.
Right.
Okay. Janine, you've got a raffle coming up.
We sure do.
You're a little later this year because of COVID and all the other things that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what that unit is. First of all, Bob, can you put that up? You can take me down.
Isn't that the cutest little thing?
Looks like a Ford Fairlane.
So I wish we had a picture of the tail end, but it's a solid piece of fiberglass. It's not molded in the middle. It's one solid mold fiberglass, and it's a 2016 relic The tail fins of that mold came from a 1957 Cadillac. I mean, these things are so retro, but they're brand new. So you've got running water in there. You've got an air conditioner. You've got a heater. You've got 2 twin beds, or you can put it all together and make one big king size bed. Beautiful.
And tickets are only $10 each. And how can people buy their ticket?
Well, if you just go to girlcamper.com, a pop-up will come, and it's $10 per ticket. But I think if you buy 5 tickets, it's $30. So the more you buy, the cheaper it becomes. But
Okay.
the really important thing with this raffle,
Charity.
Well, it is, but you know what? With COVID, the need is so much greater. So the first thing that happens when people fear for their jobs or their salary is cut is they line item. Let's get rid of these things that we can get rid of. So all the people who were on a monthly donation to the Hold You Foundation, and 75% of them canceled that. So the amount of income coming into Hold You Foundation has been drastically lowered, but the amount of people needing the help has gone way up.
Okay. And
Tell us about Hold You.
We chose Hold You as our charity because, full disclosure, my sister is the director of Hold You, but it's a family thing with our family. My sister had an autoimmune disease. She spent most of her senior year in high school in the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, and someone from our family was always with her. But she never forgot seeing these little kids tethered to an IV with bald heads going through cancer treatments whose parents weren't there because they had to be at work. So the reason she called it Hold You Foundation is we want to hold these parents so they can hold their children. So our idea is that the Hold You system is that there's lots of charities that will help you pay uncovered medical bills, but Hold You provides immediate assistance when your lights are being shut off, when you're losing your apartment because you can't pay the rent, when you can't make your car payment or insurance payment, because 76% of parents who have a child in a catastrophic illness fall under the poverty line, and we want to help them directly with immediate resources.
Okay. So thank you so much with that. We've got a couple questions that came in, and somebody said, if you register for the conference but can't, are the sessions going to be available on a delayed basis? Will they still be available to you after the March 2021 dates?
Yes, so you can watch it live, and the people doing the segments are pre-recording everything. So those people are going to be in the wings answering questions. So if you're watching a segment and you want to say to the people at RV Life, hey, if I get the Trip Wizard, how can I figure out if my trailer is, too tall for a certain bridge? He's going to be right on answering those questions. When our session is over, the whole platform is getting moved to the Girl Camper website where it will live permanently. And if you've paid the fee, you can go in anytime and watch the segments 100 times if you want.
That's always good to hear, because today we're in a situation that a lot of people don't necessarily have the time to be there, Thursday morning at 10 o'clock because of one thing or another. But if they register in advance, they can watch it at any time.
And we're doing it Saturday and Sunday, and we don't want you to miss church, so you're not going to be able to watch it all on Sunday. So if you want to learn to recover your cushions, you want to go back, pause that. Okay, now I did this, turn it back on, do the next step. We want to take you through the things step by step.
Okay,
that's one of John's favorite sessions, recovering the cushions, and he's especially interested in emptying your black tank. So I hope you have one on that.
Just give us a sample of some of them. You got 18 sessions. Give us a sample of some of them. Again, it'll all be on the website, but tell us.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, we're going to have, we're going to do a segment on how to buy the RV you want now, but get somebody else to pay for it. So isn't that intriguing, right? So how can you buy the RV that you want, but rent it out through Outdoorsy and make those payments on it and maybe get a little extra spending money to cover your camp bills?
You know, that is the hottest thing in camping today. Off the top of your head, Janine, have you done any analysis of girl campers to see how many are actually participating with one of the peer-to-peer networks out there?
You know, this is the interesting thing for girl campers, and I hope to change that because we're working on a program with Outdoorsy in Keystone where I am purchasing a Keystone hideout myself. And I'm purchasing it solely to rent it, get ownership of it, and then use it as income and travel money. So the interesting thing about girl campers is they're much more likely to rent from a peer-to-peer place than they are to rent their own trailer. Because you know, girl campers.
That doesn't surprise me. Yep.
Yeah,
well, they put a lot of effort into the custom. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into customers. It's their baby. But yeah, so hopefully a lot of women who are thinking about, they want to become girl campers prior to doing it and jumping in, they rent through a peer-to-peer network. They like it. Then they jump in and they go call Dan Craffey and they buy something up at Lee's Family Trailer Sales. Let me, before we go too far here, we're going to break a record tonight, I think, on comments. And that's amazing, considering how dysfunctional we are tonight. Lisa Morales, I was a patient at Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children as a kid. Aww. So important to help families. Wow, Lisa, what an incredible institution.
Yeah,
it must have been a while ago because now they just call it Shriners. They don't use the word crippled children anymore.
Right. That's right. That was the old term. Walter, we're going to hook you up with Walter because Walter has done just what you did. He bought a second RV last year and rented it out. A lot of the outdoorsy rental owners that I have had interactions with our women, maybe our women. Yeah, maybe. Susie Landis, buy a bunch of tickets just to help hold you. I agree, Susie. They ought to buy at least 5. Sandy Ellingson, what name do I need to use to get that? Sandy, you are not getting a mug.
Why not?
Huh? Because
maybe we should raffle a mug.
She's being so aggressive. Now, and look at Janine just happens to drink from the mug while Sandy wants it. Carol Thompson says, "Oh my God, this camper is adorable." It is. Dante, I was totally.
Can I tell you where it is? Huh? The camper is at the RV Museum Hall of Fame. So if you live out in the Midwest in Ohio or Indiana or Chicago area, you can drive down and see it in person. It's indoors on display at the RV Museum Hall of Fame in Elkhart.
Would you tell, or I'll send Daryl or Ryan a note and have them send us a picture of that, because then we can use that to spread. And folks, on this raffle, you've got to do it now. We've all been busy with COVID. There were a lot of shows. The shows were canceled. Janine's doing a magazine. She's doing an expo. She's doing 12 million things at once. But this raffle is over on Valentine's Day, or Galentine's Day, as the women of Girl Camper like to call it. So you've got to purchase your ticket in the next couple of weeks. So as soon as the show is over, go over to the website. And don't just buy one. John, what'd you tell me? You bought 100?
Yeah. 112.
Yeah. Bill Sells. The good news is when Girl Camper goes live, what?
You should buy them as a Valentine's Day gift.
That's a good idea.
Put them in your card. If you really want to be loved by your wife, put 10 tickets for the raffle in her Valentine and tell her she has your blessing to go camp like a girl.
And then she'll leave me at home.
After 52 years of marriage, raffle tickets in an envelope doesn't cut it.
Oh, it's the opposite here. If I make my husband a cup of coffee, it counts as a birthday present. Like, what do you need at this stage, right?
Jim Roy says, Janine, put me down for 10 tickets. Well, wouldn't you say to Jim Roy, Jim, go to the website and buy them now?
You have to put yourself down. Buy Marlene 10 tickets.
Yeah, but
down for 10 tickets.
He would, but he's so damn busy at restoring Airstreams and other vintage trailers. Yeah. And did you see, maybe those of you that don't follow him, go to Silver Moose Restorations on Facebook, but he just posted, because they do so many Airstreams, in the lobby, he's built an Airstream desk. And then in the section of the building going from the restoration area to his parts and fabrication area, The whole wall is an Airstream tray. Cut out. This guy's so creative. He cuts out the whole side wall of an Airstream, and the door of the Airstream is the door into fabrication. I can't think of how somebody's brain works like this. Mine doesn't.
Have you ever seen Jim's personal Airstream? It's
incredible. The Silver Moon.
Just incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bill's getting back to business here while you guys just ramble.
Why would you want to do this? Isn't business.
The good news is when Girl Camper National Expo goes live. Bill, thank me for this because I'm the only one paying attention to you.
Right.
I'm skimming over. The good news is when Girl Camper National Expo goes live, we will be using a real and robust platform, and it will be just like watching TV. 18 conference sessions, 19 each day. To find out more, go to girlcamper.com.
Okay, that's important. But guess what? Guess who just showed up? And Lisa Warren is Alan Warren's wife.
Alan Warren.
And she did have a baby, but it wasn't hers. She's a grandmother. So, Alan, we are delighted that Wednesdays are tough because we get busy doing our show. Alan gets busy doing his. I would watch it every night if I could. Alan, we're glad you recovered from COVID. Thank you very much for jumping in here tonight. Little late. Hey, for you, pal, you can show up anytime. When Kessler shows up,
we should tell people that immediately after this show ends, Alan's show begins because he's in Texas and there's an hour difference, and it's called the RV Show USA. And just go to Facebook, like here, hang around the RV Show USA. It's a good show.
And if you don't remember, we used to live streaming.
Alan, just throw up the URL just in case John got it backwards, but throw up the URL there so people have that.
How can you get RV and USA backwards, Bob?
Huh? DePietro?
RV USA.
You walk outdoors backwards. You could.
RV Show USA. That's the country we're in right now. RVs are what we drive or hang around in or reupholster our furniture in. Right. And show is what this is.
Okay, speaking about countries, Janine, I threw a map up there, which, if we had a test, DePietro probably couldn't tell where 10 of those states are. Tell us what that map is and why it's important to the growth of the Girl Camper community.
We have something called Girl Camper Guides, and the Girl Camper Guides are all over the country, and they help you learn where to camp and what to do. So, we take our Texas girls, and if you're in the hill country and you go to our Texas Hill Country page, she's going to tell you where to eat, where to get the best Tex-Mex, where to buy cowboy boots. But in addition to that, our girls mentor women who want to learn how to tow and operate and own an RV. And we're not just about RVs, because there's no wrong way to camp like a girl. We don't care if you tent camp, hammock hang, whatever you do, our Girl Camper Guides will help you. So our Girl Camper Guides are all over the country, bringing women together, bringing in the dealerships for camper colleges and helping them hit the road.
And let's say something that is particular to this particular show. The name of the show is New England RV Dealers Association, RVing in New England. And New England looks like it's still open. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you
we have a Massachusetts guide now. So our Massachusetts
you got to put her in touch. Is she on tonight? Have you seen her?
No, I haven't seen her on tonight, but we have a bunch of new states coming up. We filled Arkansas, we filled Kentucky, we filled Massachusetts.
Tell me about Massachusetts.
Our Massachusetts girl is one of our Girl Camper writers. Her name is Kim, and she is a party giver. She has a fiberglass trailer, and she's going to be a lot of fun.
What do you mean she's a party goer?
She loves to host campouts. So a Girl Camper campout is not just a regular camping event. Sometimes they're themed. Like we're doing one this spring down in Cape May, New Jersey. Go fly a kite. We're all making kites. We're taking them down to the beach. We're going to have our cocktails on the beach and fly our kites. We just pick something fun to do.
Oh, now see, Lisa McDermott said, I'm one of the guides and got that for her, but we'll see what we can do, whatever that means.
Oh, she's
Okay.
talking about, somebody asked about my jacket, and it's my Girl Camper.
Oh,
One
okay.
that says Camper in Chief. I have two of them. And Lisa, our South Dakota Girl Camper guide, is a lawyer, a semi-professional golfer, an airline pilot. I mean, this woman is unbelievable. And she's a Renaissance woman, and she loves helping women achieve their goals.
And
Well,
Lisa
Walt-
Morales says she's at Cape Cod. Lisa, just type in the town that you're in at the Cape, because we have a place at the Cape and love it down there. So just tell us, Lisa Morales, where are you from at the Cape?
Walter Swenson loves women too. Walter is our resident engineer, and although we pick on him every week, he's got a heart of gold. So he just picked up 15 tickets. So
It's flying up. So I'm showing you now. I'm watching the numbers on my little calculator. It just went up by several $100s. So thank you.
So if everybody on here would go out there,
Roy just bought 15 tickets also.
who did?
Jim Roy.
When do I pick up my new trailer?
Jim-
Right in front of the shop.
I thought Jim said he
February
bought
15th.
No, Jim Roy said I just bought 15.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
When do I go pick up a new trip? Jim,
Lisa Morales. Oh, onset. Okay. Onset's just over there. Is onset on the Cape or off the Cape?
Off the Cape.
Yeah. Okay.
It's on the other, before you go to the bridge. Jim, if you won this raffle, Jim, you would donate this trailer, because if you can't fix it, restore it, and plus, don't forget, you told me you don't work on anything younger than younger than 1975. So if they come in with a 1975, very rarely do you take it. You want the old stuff, the really old stuff.
Can I tell you something about the camper? It doesn't even matter if you camp yourself, because this is a charming thing to have in your backyard. You use it as a guest house. You use it as a getaway office. You use it as a playhouse when the grandkids come over. It doesn't matter if you ever take it to a campground. This is a little toy that is beautiful.
Does it say Fisher Price on it anywhere?
Come again?
Does it say Fisher Price?
No.
No.
It's not a Barbie trailer.
It's not. I've stood in it.
You ought to try.
I took it camping.
Yeah, Janine, you really ought to try sales sometime. I think you might have a good career, selling stuff.
It may shock you to know that I was once a real estate agent, and I was the rookie of the year. I sold 11 houses in 6 months.
Doesn't surprise me at all. We got about 7 minutes left. Man, we've gone through so much stuff. Have we left anything off here? What else do you want to talk about, Janine?
Jim Roy says he's going to donate it back to Girl Camper.
Well, give it to his father.
That would be great. That would be wonderful. Can I tell you a quick story about the lady who won last year?
No, you can't. No, we don't want to. No, we won't let you. No,
well, I'm going to say it anyway. We had an R-Pod, and the woman who bought the winning ticket was working at Lowe's, kind of living hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, and she had been watching the trailer, and 2 days before the raffle ended, she bought 2 tickets with the last $20 in her checkbook, and she won.
Woo!
Then she sold the trailer and now has money.
No, she sold her house, became a full-timer, and spent her summer in Bar Harbor, Maine at a KOA as a work camper.
Bahaba.
Changed her life.
Wow. And you didn't tell us when she was up there so we could go up and do a story on her?
You know where she is now? She's down. This is interesting. She's down in Texas now at the National RV Training Academy, learning to become an RV technician.
Wow.
We have got, and Susie Q, you see here, Susie has just started at the RVTI in Elkhart, her training to become an RV inspector. She's going to do PDIs at dealerships. So we're bringing girl campers and women into the RV industry in ways they've never been active in it before.
That is amazing. You gotta put that on as one of your sessions at the expo. And guess who just joined us at 7:55? The young and beautiful and talented Julie Bennett from
So
RV.
Julie Bennett is doing a segment on our. Julie and her husband Mark are doing a segment
Wait a minute. Time out. Julie and Mark are doing a segment
on the Girl Camper Expo.
Bob and John doing a segment on the Girl
I
Camp.
asked you, you didn't reply. I got you penciled in.
I'm a busy man, Janine.
I got you down.
Maybe it dropped down too far on the inbox.
You need to call
Huh?
me soon. Julie, you need to call me soon, says Alan. Oh, no, see, Alan's doing side.
Now they're doing side conversations.
Look, here's the deal. Alan comes on our show to book guests.
Right.
Alan, that's like saying you're a Yankee fan in New England. Julie, you need to call me soon. Oh.
No, before you call Alan, Warren, before you call Alan, Julie, you better call me. So.
Okay.
So Julie is doing a segment on the expo on things she learned and can convey, things she wished she knew before she hit the road. So all the people who just bought RVs for the first time, she's going to do a frequently asked questions section for new RVers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
what's the difference between the black tank and the gray tank?
Her and Mark are great. They are absolutely great. Great friends and great for the RV community in general.
Well, now see, Julie is going right back. She's got a side conversation with Alan Warren.
You got a conversation with Alan. It's
ridiculous. She comes on our show to get booked for other shows.
Right. We got to make this software so I can blow them off the comment section if they start talking to each other.
Oh my goodness gracious! There's got to be some rule.
Right. I mean, Kessler's good at that too. Boy, oh boy.
I don't know. Kessler was here at 7:03, so I don't know if he's still here.
Well, he hasn't commented since, so I think he did that, and then he went under the kitchen to have dinner because he hasn't commented since. So we're up to tricks like that, Kessler. We know that some people do that. So if you're
where are you today, Julie Bennett? Where are you guys now?
Yeah, but here's the test, Kessler. If you're still out there, type something in. So we'll embarrass him.
Okay. It's supper time in Cleveland.
We remember our time with Kessler out at the Winnebago meetings last year. And as we were flying back when COVID was just starting to get noticed, we were told that Kessler has COVID. And here we are.
He was exposed to COVID.
Middle of the country over Chicago on our way to New York to catch a third flight on our way back. And finally we reached him and he said, well, my wife's going to make me quarantine. And that lasted 3 days. Okay. Cindy Baker, anything we can get for you, Cindy? Like a watch?
When is the virtual?
March 20th and 21st, Cindy.
Yep. Who's Cindy Baker? You know Cindy Baker? She one of yours?
Baker. She's a girl camper.
Where?
Oh, where? I don't know everybody's town.
Oh, I thought you knew. I thought you had an intimate relationship, or
Eileen and I.
Yeah.
Eileen lives in my old hood. Eileen is from Chicago and lives in my old neighborhood that I grew up in.
Okay, well, I want her to go to Portillo and send me some hot dogs.
How about Diane Chalmers? And speaking about Diane's, where is Diane McNamara tonight?
She just showed up with 2 minutes to go in the show.
Oh, there she is. Yep. Oh, there she is.
Yep.
Hey, oh, man. Diane, are you just showing up with 2 minutes left in the show?
Yep. She couldn't. She
How
can't.
about she was sitting back, rolling on the floor, laughing at all of us, trying to get this thing together tonight?
No, he was calling Alan Warren, trying to book Janine on Alan's show.
That's
I've been on Alan's show many times.
Using us to get to Alan.
Hey, wait a minute. Now that's a sore spot. Now, were you on his show more than you were on our show?
I think you just took the lead.
Good.
I've been on your show more than Alan's.
All right. Good.
We're more fun anyway.
Let me know when he books you again. Cindy Baker says, thanks for that sign up. And Ellen says, send me your address and I'll send you portfolios. Look at
Portillo's.
it
Okay,
is.
Ellen, I will do that. I'll send you Portillo's.
It is
so good. Those especially their Italian beef sandwich.
Yeah.
And their hot dogs. They have hot dogs in Chicago with a not a sesame seed, a poppy seed hot dog bun. You don't see those in New England.
What the hell's that got to do with Girl Camper?
It's got a lot to do because I'm gonna camp my way out to Chicago. I'll bring my wife and two granddaughters with me, and then that would be considered a girl camper thing. I'll drive by the RV Hall of Fame, wave to everybody there, and we'll be going.
Before we do our close, don't go away, anybody. But we want to thank once again Lee's Family Trail Sales in Windham, Maine, Dan Craffey, and the incredible team up there, men and women, and they are great to do business with. They've got a tremendous lineup of campers specifically for small campers, the Nobos, the Winnebagos, the Geo Pro, the Solus Fan. So if you get a chance, take a ride up this weekend, see Dan. And don't forget, when you go up there, tell him you heard about him on RVing in New England. Janine, we could probably talk. You could probably talk for 8 hours. John and I could probably talk. You probably could go forever, but we're not going to go on forever because we want to respect the time of our people. So, John, I'll give you your last word, then I'll go to Janine, and then we have to close it out. But we love having you on, and we'll have you back again.
I just want to say a special thank you to my new best friend, Eileen Burnt Gross, who says, send me your address and I'll send you something for Portillo's. You see, I'm not above using this show to get free food. I will admit it.
I don't doubt that at all.
I will admit it. And that chocolate cake shake, says Pamela Tippett.
But Ellen, if you were going to do that, wouldn't it be probably fair to do it for both hosts rather than just the older and not as good looking host as me?
You didn't ask. You could have asked. I begged.
Yeah, see, I don't beg.
Well, you don't eat then.
Okay, fair enough. Janine, I will give you some closing comments. You are so much fun to have on. We could do this every week.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me a moment to honor Elena and just really make everybody aware when they look at that magazine, they are looking at the work of a creative genius, and we're so grateful to be able to showcase her and talk about her. And we want to keep talking about her. We don't want to let her go. And when you get your winter issue of the magazine, just say a little prayer for her family.
Thank you, Janine. And thank you, everyone. What a following you have. I can't see the number of comments, but they've got to be well over. It may be our most commented show, which doesn't surprise me at all because the Girl Camper community is so much fun, and you provide such a great service for women.
But it's important to know
again
because you were so rude, saying that lady is only going to send stuff to you. Now she's going to send stuff to both of us. That means that my gift is being cut in half because of you, and I just don't think it's right.
See, you always look at it the wrong way. It just means that she's going to spend twice as much money to make sure that we both have something together. She's not going to take yours and cut it in half. We don't do that stuff.
If I get a half a hot dog,
yeah, you're going to blame me?
I'll know that I'm right.
All right, you're going to blame me. All right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. A tremendous show, despite our
Dan Craffey just had great. Dan Craffey's been lurking the whole time we've been talking about.
Great show.
Dan, it was me that put life into the commercials.
And Dan Craffey, for those of you who don't know him, Dan Craffey is the owner of lease, family, trailer sales, and one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet in the RV industry. So if you're in New England,
low-key, happy GMs I ever met in my life.
isn't he? Isn't he fantastic? All right.
More than a GM.
All right, we're going to end the show. Thank you very much.
Okay, we gotta get out of here.
Down the road and
Good night, everyone.
Happy
Good night,
trails.
everyone. Bye now.